G'day YouTube, welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. As always, your host Squidly back for another review for you. How the fuck has your week been? So today we are looking at a dual 18650 regulated device kit. This is the Swell Kit by Vandy Vape and Tony B. If you don't know who Tony B is, he's the guy who did all the Pulse stuff. So you remember like the Pulse Mech and then the Pulse Dual and the Pulse RDA and then the Pulse Single, and then there was maybe a Pulse 2, and then there was a Pulse X, and then the Pulse something or other. All the pulses. That's Tony B. So Vandy Vape and that guy collaborated and did this little thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive down, we'll take a quick look around this thing. I will show you all the features and everything that it comes with, including this little sub-ohm tank on top. Then we'll do the pros, cons, price, if I would recommend this thing or not. So stick around, watch the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash that like button. My social media links are down below, so give me a follow there too. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we have a closer look at the Vandy Vape Swell Kit. So this is a dual 18650 mod and it comes with the Swell sub-ohm tank. That's a quick look around the outside. Pretty freaking cool. So let's take a look at these things individually. So some features for this, it does run the Vandy chip, which will do 5 to 188 watts. It does have your temperature control modes, your TCR, variable wattage. It does have a resistance range of 0.05 to 3 ohms, and it is waterproof, not with the batteries in it. Obviously, don't be a dickhead and wash this and then think it's going to work with your batteries in it. You got to take the batteries out, but once the batteries are out, you can wash this. The other thing with this device is you can turn those features on and off, which is pretty cool. I'll show you how that works in a minute if you haven't used a Vandy Vape product before. So this thing here is 82 millimeters tall, it is 55 millimeters wide, and it is 26 millimeters across the top here. Up the top, you do have a spring-loaded 510 connection. It's some cool little branding around that 510 connection. You do have the Swell logo there. Down the front here, you do have your fire button. You get a nice color display that you can change the color of if you so desire. And then down here, you do have your up and your down buttons. We'll take a closer look at that and the features in a minute. You do have a micro USB charging port right there. Underneath, you've got these two little tabs. So this is how you can take your panels on and off. You've got a Tony B project right there because this is designed with Tony B, a little bit of battery venting, and then down this side you've got Vandy Vape. To remove the panels, like I said, put your finger in here, pull it out, and there you go. You'll notice there is no battery ribbon in here, so I do have to remove the other panel like so, and then push my batteries out. So once the battery's out, this thing is waterproof. Very clean battery sled, even though there is no real battery sled or the chassis. You do have your gold-plated battery connections, and you do have the battery orientation marked clearly on each side so you can see how your batteries go inside the device. Battery doors are held in place with some pretty decent magnets, and that's what this resin panel looks like. It's just plastic with a little bit of resin on it. Very lightweight. I'm not really concerned if I break this because you can buy more. So once my batteries are installed, I just simply put the panels in place and they do not move. They are solid. There is no movement up and down, side to side. I'm not worried about them falling off at all. Okay, and here we have the screen. All right, so up the top here, you do have your battery level indicators. You've got the wattage that you're running. Up button goes up, down button goes down, and it does travel up pretty quickly if you want it to. Here you have the mode that you're running in. Then you've got your resistance, your applied voltage, you've got your puffs, and then you've got the time that you vaped for. Now to get into the menu system, 1, 2, 3, and then you can see you get these flashing little arrows. Now if I push the up and down button, nothing's going on because straight out of the factory, I just did a factory reset. Straight out of the factory, you only have the wattage mode. So you need to go and add or subtract modes from this thing. To do that, you hold the up and down button and you get into the sub menu system. So you have your settings. In here, you can see that the TC is not highlighted green, voltage, bypass mode. You've got your firing, so allowing the firing button to be turned on or to be used when it's locked. That is your auto resistance reading. And then you've got the app. So this app is where you can use the device, like a Find My Phone device for your mod. Hit escape. Then you've got your screen lockout, our brightness. This one here is your puff counter, so you can reset your puffs. So this one here is your screen color or your screen theme. So you can change the different themes of the screen. So let me just change that one to the bottom one. Here you've got your version, all that information, factory reset and exit. So now when I exit, so now you can see the screen is a different theme or different theme color to what it was before. So that is the mod. Let's take a quick look at the tank. Here we have the Swell sub-ohm tank. So this little thing is 24 millimeters in diameter and 36 mil high. It does have a 510 resin drip tip. This drip tip matches the panels. The cool thing about the fill system is it's a 90-degree turn, then the top comes off. You've got the little kidney-shaped hole to fill up your juices. At the moment, I'm running a triple mesh coil head with a resistance of 0.15, good from 50 to 100 watts. And there also is a single mesh, which is 0.15 as well for ohmage, and it does 50 to 90 watts. Here you have your airflow. Very nice, smooth, solid. There's a lot of resistance to that airflow, which I like. So I know when I put this in my pocket, even though I do have it wide open, I know it's not going to move, and when I pull it out of my pocket, I don't have to readjust that. Underneath, you've got all of the usual under sub-ohm shit that you would expect. You got the Swell, Tony B, all that other good shit, floating, gold-plated 510 pin, and that's pretty much it. The sub-ohm tank, there's not really much to it. With this glass, it does hold 3 mils, and you do have a 4.5 section as well if you wanted to add that in. I just like it like this, it looks good. So that's the tank. Let's take a look at the packaging. Packaging. All right, here we have the packaging for the Vandy Vape Swell Kit. You've got Vandy Vape up here, Swell, Tony B. You get a picture of the kit that you get. Here you've got the Vandy chip, you've got the PCB, it says it's waterproof. On this side, you've got all of your good shit, scratch and sniff authenticity, you know, serial number, all that other good shit. And then on the back, usual back of box bullshit. You've got the kit contents, you've got some warnings, some about us stuff, and then you've got some features. Once you open the box, this is where your Swell tank will sit. This is where your Swell mod will sit. You do get in here the 4.5mm bubble glass. You get a bag of spare O-rings, including, looks like a tank ring thing. What do they call those? The stupid vape band. You get a battery safety card. You get a QC certificate. You get a Vandy Vape warranty card. You get a micro USB charging cable. You get the fattest fucking user manual ever. Look at this thing. Yeah, sure, it's multilingual, but fuck, it's just huge and thick.
That's what she said.
And you do get a pull-out poster style, how to use the app, where to download it from, how to find your phone, all that other shit. It's a feature that I will never ever use. And you do get a spare coil, which is the single mesh coil head, as I mentioned, 0.15 ohms and good from 50 to 90 watts. That's what it looks like on the inside. I haven't had to try this one yet because the triple mesh was just so fucking good and it's lasted pretty much 10 days. The Vandy Vape Swell Kit with Tony B. Let's jump back up top. Let's do the pros. Let's do the cons. Let's do the price. And let's do best or worst device ever. All right, so there we had a quick look around the Swell Kit. I have got some of my favorite juice in here, Bogan Brews, Duck's Nuts. I have got the triple coil head in here. It's sitting at 67 watts. Let's take it for a fucking toot. All right. So, we always talk about flavour, cloud production, and airflow.
Flavour, cloud production, airflow.
So this triple coil head, the flavour of this thing is pretty sensational. For a little sub-ohm tank, I was very surprised that Vandy had pulled this little thing out of their fucking hat. This thing is pretty good. I give it a flavour rating of around about an 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty fucking good for a sub-ohm tank. Cloud production, as you saw, pretty spectacular. And airflow. The airflow is relatively smooth. And it's also got a slight little restriction to it, which I'm really, really digging. It's kind of been a really good sub-ohm tank to use. I don't know where they pulled this from. That's the flavour, cloud production, airflow. But you saw this thing works. You push the fire button and this thing fucking goes. So that's always a positive. So speaking of positives, let's do the pros and cons.
Pros.
The one thing I really like about Vandy Vape is the ability to turn features on and off.
Because I'm good at turning things off.
I'm a variable wattage guy, that's all I vape, so being able to turn off like bypass mode and variable voltage, I really fucking think that that is awesome. Vandy Vape have just jam-packed this thing full of features, so you've got things like Find My Phone, it's got an auto resistance, it's got a fire lock so you can, lock and have the fire button on when the keys are locked and shit like that. So it's got heaps and heaps of features with it, and I love the fact that I can turn them off if I don't need them. I really dig the screen on this. I think it's got a very nice and bright screen. I think that's really cool. Another pro is it looks fucking sensational. How can you not say that is a good looking mod? What do you think? It's just the resin, the matching drip tip, the whole little package. It just looks fucking cool. And the other awesome thing about this is that you can take these panels off and you can buy different panels for it. Another pro is it is waterproof. So if you drop a juice load in here, you can take it all apart and you can wash it and then you can put it back together and it's gonna work. So that's another massive pro. The last one is just how ergonomic this thing is. For a little box mod, it's got some well thought out rounded features here. It's got this little kink, sort of sits into your palm nicely, just sets up for the trigger fire. It's just a sensational little ergonomic device. This thing is more comfy to hold in my hand than my cock is, and that's saying something. Vandy, you've done a lot of testing on cocks, I reckon. The tank itself, you got some pretty cool little features to this as well. You got some really good coils and really good flavor, as I said. The other thing I like about it is it's just simple. That's kind of awesome. And the other cool thing about the tank is the top fill system. So being able to take that top off with a quarter turn, then you can fill it up and then it's a simple quarter turn and it's back on. Nice and snug, hasn't moved around. It's just a very simple, well thought out tank. And that's all you really need from a sub-ohm tank, right? It doesn't need to be flashy and full of features. That's what your mod's for. This thing just has to have good flavor. This thing is not without its cons though, so let's get into the cons.
Cons.
So one of the pros that I said at the start, having heaps and heaps of features, I also think is a bit of a con as well. There's certain things in this, like Find My Device, that I just don't fucking need. If you don't know where your fucking device is, then you shouldn't have a fucking device. It should be either in your fucking pocket or on a workbench or somewhere near you. I don't need a feature to fucking find it. I've never used to Find My Phone because I know where my fucking phone is. I've never had to find my fucking keys because I always know where my fucking keys are. Know where your shit is. You're just diluting all these awesome features, Vandy Vape, by putting something just gimmicky like that in it. And I think that kind of detracts from the overall appeal of this device. And the other kind of nitpicky con for me is you gave me a 510 drip tip. 510 drip tips, who the fuck has 510 drip tips? Now, yeah, sure, it does match, but if I want to get different panels and I want to get my own 810 custom drip tip to match, I can't. I have to go look for a 510. Now, I've got heaps and heaps of awesome resin 810s that just aren't gonna fucking fit this. And that's a little bit of a disappointment. I really would have liked to have seen an 810 drip tip on this. What are we? We're not in like 2015 Vandy, we're in 2019. Step your fucking game up. Pros and cons done. Let's get into price.
Price.
So what is the Vandy Vape Swell Kit gonna set you back? So with a little bit of Google foo around the internet, I found this in the US online for 80 bucks. That's about equivalent of about 105 here in Australia. So when you think about it, that's a pretty decent price for a kit. Yeah, sure, it is plastic, but you get resin, you get quality, you get awesome features, you just get peace of mind, a really good sub-ohm tank to match. That's pretty fucking cool. So if I had to rate this on a scale of best device, worst device ever, with nothing in between, just best or worst, I would kind of give this best device ever. Yeah, it's got heaps of features, does have a few cons, but they kind of are outweighed just by how many pros this have. That's it. That's all I've got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like always, please like, please share, please subscribe, and remember, keep it cloudy, YouTube. Keep it cloudy.
A Gutter Slut production.